14-2 with 9 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Atomic Bull Oliver McCall.
And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks and weighing 242 and 1/2 pounds. His professional record is 26 victories, 17 by KO, only 4 defeats and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, from Columbus, Ohio, ranked number 2 in the world by the IBF, James Buster Douglas.
Hey, McCall, how do I get Royce? Listen, I want a clean fight, okay? The only pet peeve I got when
I don't find the talk back here. That's why I'm, oh, I did, oh. Got it.
Larry, the incarnation of the name is obscured by the number of different versions of the story which have been told. Should we be calling this, Don? You're watching round 1 of Oliver McCall against James Buster Douglas. The fight is regarded as important in Douglas's career because an impressive performance could springboard him toward a meeting with Mike Tyson. He is one of a variety of different opponents who have been discussed as potential challengers for Tyson the next time around, and somewhere on the way
to break, step back.
See Tyson Evander Holyfield. Now he faces off against McCall, the Atomic Bull, a former Tyson sparring partner.
And Douglas came out like he was inspired by the previous fight in which Jose Revolta, who also had been mentioned as a next Tyson opponent, won a lackluster decision and had to come off the canvas to do it. So obviously Douglas can do himself a lot of good here if he can do something impressive.
Buster Douglas is trained right now by Rich Giacchetti, and whom you will associate with the long and star career of Larry Holmes. And like Holmes, Ray Leonard, Buster starts with the jab in most of his work.
Buster Douglas is a big heavyweight, and 242.5 pounds, that's a lot of weight for heavyweight. He carries it fairly well because of the structure of his body. I'm looking at his opponent, Atomic Bull, and normally fighters have the ring name, which is synonymous with their style.
Right, step back.
And thus far, McCall has not been the aggressive bull.
There is McCall coming in behind the jab.
McCall, Jim, McCall is a guy who frequently gave Tyson his best workouts. And he's one of those guys who's a gym fighter. He just fights well in the gym, but somehow when the bell rings in the arena, he doesn't perform.
Step back.
Well, McCall bears a little bit of a face and body resemblance to Joe Frazier, but it pretty much stops there.
So we can say that nobody knows the real truth about how the truth goes on.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, you know, I read one instance where somebody said to him, you know, there's so many stories about this that we don't know which one is true, and he said, yeah, but I'm about to tell you the truth. And then he told yet another story, which was that it had to do with Ray Leonard.
Yeah, he was just telling me that, right.
What the guys around the neighborhood say Ray Leonard was the real truth. Round 2 of Buster Douglas against Oliver McCall. Douglas beginning now to show the jab a little bit more. than was the case in round one, which was a little bit of a brawling round.
Well, Douglas now is trying to establish that jab. He threw a sharp right hand a second ago and sort of surprised McCall, if anything.
Douglas is a plodding fighter who has difficulty looking spectacular. A year ago, he was put into this ring on the undercard of Tyson Spinks.
Break, step back,
with
step
a
back.
sculpted body god out of Houston named Mike Williams. It was expected to be a step up for Williams toward heavyweight contention, and Douglas easily defeated him, working behind the jab. That was a big step forward for him.
My recollection, Jim, is he knocked him down with the jab several times.
So it indicates other than a big man, first of all, there's something heavily able to put a guy down with the left jab. I think some of this is one of the guys that could do that.
In fact, Larry Holmes once did it in a championship fight.
Right, step back, step back.
Douglas is the son of a fighter who was Billy Douglas, who was a pretty good middleweight and welterweight way back in the 50s and 60s.
Let him go around that neck.
I would say a better middleweight and light heavyweight than his son is. But his son is maybe on the verge of getting his second shot at a heavyweight title. Remember that he fought Tony Tucker for the IBF heavyweight title that had been vacated voluntarily by Michael Spinks. And he was leading that fight and got stopped in around the 10th round, as I read.
Ran out of gas. That's right.
All right, let me have it. Stop punching, stop punching.
I heard he had a hot roll at a dice table. And he couldn't leave.
Let him go, let him go.
And ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to this lovely round card lady. This is Angela. Let's give her a hand.
Douglas against Oliver McCall. Douglas trying to be impressive enough to enhance his credentials for a possible title shot against Mike Tyson.
Well, the heavyweight division is wide open for candidates to fight Tyson, and Douglas is very well that looking impressive here.
Well, in fact, there is one man, though, that the public most wants to see against Tyson, and if you look across to the far side of the ring, to camera right at the lower right-hand corner of your screen, you'll see him. He's sitting next to Donald Trump. Probably no coincidence there. His name is Evander Holyfield.
Right, step back, step
Well,
back,
Trump
step back.
has an option on that fight, which means
Off the neck.
Okay.
I got it. Right, step back. Don't wrestle in there, guys. I told you before.
right.
right, let it go. Let it go.
Okay.
Yeah, and Trump, I'm sure Trump's lawyers believe he has an option on the fight.
Yeah. He has an $11 million, approximately 11 or $11.5 million, which is what he paid for the Spinks fight as an option. According to Kate, all that means is anybody out there can beat it if they want to beat it. You know. Well, Caton told me differently, but maybe you're right.
Come on out, come on out, come on out, come on out, come on out. Come on, you guys are wrestling. Let's walk.
Larry Holmes just came in. So, if the truth doesn't show up, we can always put Larry in. Seconds to go in round 3 between Buster Douglas and Oliver McCall. We've had a scintillating call of this fight. I'm sure all of you have enjoyed the continuity that we've brought to it. And now, between rounds, an HBO special effect, singularly identified with Ross Greenberg's boxing telecast, the corners.
Sponge. Give me a sponge.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, Sunday, July 30th, right next door. At the Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino, big afternoon of boxing. That's Sunday, July 30th. The featured bout will be WBA junior middleweight champion of the world, Julian Jackson, as he takes on the #1 contender, ranked by the IBF #1. That's Terrible Terry Norris of San Diego, California.
You've just heard the dulcet tones of Richie Jacquet